Roll it, roll it, roll it.
Keep it rolling.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's do this.
Oh, I thought we were. Over here.
All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night, or as I like to call it, Friday Eve here beyond the airwaves, the Infinity Project. This is Thursday. It's time for Toss Up Thursday. Thank you, Frodo, for the suggestion. And tonight our toss up is going to be TikTok. In other words, we're going to drive you crazy with jargon, but we're going to translate it into English. Don't worry.
As best as we can.
Yeah. Some things that can't be helped. Anyway, I'm your host for tonight. I am Oddball Extreme. I'm currently joined in line by 4 of my crazy cohorts. First, to my immediate left, we have our master and creator, Frodo. Hello, Frodo.
Hey, what's up, people?
All right. To my immediate right, we have our resident joker, Mike. Hello, Mike.
Good evening, everyone. And I forgot to change my name. Hold on a second.
Okay. There.
Hi.
Don't worry. Keep Mike Boyens professionally. All right. To my bottom left, we have our resident super sus, Janet. Hello, Janet.
Hello. I hope everybody's week went good.
Yep. So far, so
It's
good.
not looking good.
And then to my bottom right, we have our Ford Anglia 105E, John. Hello, John.
Hey, Shirley.
And before we go on, I want to congratulate John on his new job as cameraman at KCRG in Cedar Rapids. Yay!
Bravo.
Yeah, my name's probably not going to appear in the credits, but
That's okay.
I'll know I was there.
Actually, when it's a long day, like when it's a special day like Thanksgiving, they do run a full credit screen.
Yeah,
Nice.
they do. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's like, you know,
So-
don't worry about getting the credit. Just get the paycheck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey, getting both the credit for what you do and the paycheck's good.
Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, tonight we're doing a little bit of tech talk, and you know, we really don't have any specific topic in mind, but you know,
we're just gonna shoot from the hip, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
The nuances of a computer to someone who does not know how to handle a computer.
And Sandra's in the chat room.
Well, actually, I got the first thing I want to start with is something from the Commodore 64.
Ooh,
Let's
I
go
remember that one.
old school.
I remember that. I had one.
Let's go real old school, people. There was a recent advancement in the demo scene for the C64. Now, to explain the demo scene, you take a bunch of stuff that the C64 can do, or any computer system or gaming system, and you crank it to 11 and try and crank as much as you possibly can out of the system, whether it be artwork or different looks. And, you know, there's so many different demos that show different capabilities of different systems. The Amiga, for example, the Commodore Amiga has demos that show like entire galaxies spooling together and stuff. You got demos on the C64 where you see like words and stuff flexing with music running the entire time off the SID chip. But this one's a little different. This is the smallest demo ever created that pushes the system to new heights.
How long was it?
It's not smallest as in time, Janet. It's smallest as in space.
Ah,
it is
gotcha.
only 256 bytes.
Wow.
That's not even a kilobyte.
Exactly. Now,
Damn.
to explain, back in these days, you're talking, you didn't have Medi and Mebi bytes and Gibby and you know, you don't have those bullshit byte values,
Yeah.
which are, you had 2 to the x power, which was what you based your measurements on in computers. 2 because the binary system, 1, 0, and the power is what it can do. In this case, you're talking 2 to the 10th power, which is equal to 1024, which is 1024 bytes equals a kilobyte. This fits in just 1/4 of that space. Now, to break it down even further for layman's terms, your average Word document that is 1 page takes up 4 kilobytes of space.
That's true.
Okay. So this is fitting literally in 1/16 the space of a Word document. I posted a link in. I posted a link in the Zoom chat, so if you guys
and
want,
I put it in the both Twitch and Discord.
Okay, now to explain, the image you see at the top of the picture of the article with all the hexadecimal values, hexadecimal 1 through 9, 0 through 9, A through F equals 16, which represents 1/2 of a byte. That's why it's separated into 2-piece segments, is because each 2-piece segment is a byte. You can literally count the bytes in this one by one.
Excuse me.
If you feel like it, and see that is 256 bytes. But this code at the top that you see in this image, Shirley, this is.
Okay.
This is. You done, Jan?
I just muted her.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is the entirety of the code for this demo. That's it.
Be interesting to see what the code looks like. Do you know what language it was written in?
Looks like
Assembly.
basic. Oh, okay.
Assembly. It's in assembly. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, because I remember the times when you have like 10 put this on screen, or 20 do something like that.
That's basic. Yeah. It's driven by a 60 hertz timer interrupt. The 3 voices of the SID chip are used to play kick drum and bass, melody, and drone successfully, creating 64 bars of music using a linear feedback shift register. This means that, in a sense, the melody is randomly generated, but deterministically enough to sound pleasing to the human ear. And if you look at the bottom of this, there's a YouTube video.
Yep, there it is.
This is the entire demo. It's crazy.
You're right. It is crazy.
It is. The patterns that you see are essentially a cellular automation algorithm. But yeah, if Janet is up for it, she can count every single byte in this, and it will come out to 256.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now, if you want to look up some interesting demos from the scene, look up on YouTube, do a search for Commodore 64 demos. And some of these things will make you go, what the fuck? Like, Commodore themselves released the first demo in the demo scene in the Christmas of 1983, I believe it was, on the not the PET, but the one right after the PET. I can't remember, but the +4, I think. I can't remember. But they released a Christmas demo which literally played Jingle Bells while
So that's the demo. That's the picture is the demo.
That's
It's a
literally
demo?
the entire code of the demo. That's the crazy thing.
Mm-hmm. That's
I'm
that's
not going to count
amazing.
it, but
Yeah,
I'll say.
that's amazing that he could pull that off with just 256 bytes.
Now, let me get even further into explanation. 1 byte equals 1 letter. So the C in my name is 1 byte long. The H, another byte.
Mm-hmm.
The space in between the S and M, another byte. Everything you see in the computer is technically a collection of ones and zeros.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't matter what it is. It is technology. Technology is ones and zeros.
That's true. Binary code.
yeah.
Yep.
Start one of that. What was the title of that Star Trek: The Next Generation episode where that alien race of binars?
10011010.
I was asking the wrong person, Shirley. I was asking you, and you knew the
Hey,
they
he's
use
the Trekkie, not
binary
me. I'm the Trekker, not the
No, he
Trekkie.
used binary language.
But yeah, the binars are actually a species that are explained in Enterprise, kind of weirdly, but basically they have their frontal lobes replaced with a computer.
Mm. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna calculate this right here. No, go ahead.
No,
John.
that's more or less what they do.
Oh.
And their thought patterns are essentially as close to binary as you can possibly get.
Okay. All right, John, go ahead.
I got some neat trivia for you on the subject of computer demos.
Okay.
Frodo, have you ever heard of a convention called SIGGRAPH?
Yeah, I have actually.
Okay. SIGGRAPH is integral to the history of the company Pixar, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
When they made their first non-Lucasfilm production, which was called The Adventures of Andre and Wally B, they premiered it at SIGGRAPH, and they did it alongside a bunch of demos whose point was to show just how advanced these companies' computer systems were.
Mm-hmm.
John Lasseter, who had directed the short, was approached by somebody after its screening, and he asked, "What kind of system do you use?" He just thought, "Oh, great! They're gonna blast me with a bunch of tech talk. I can't do this. I'm just an artist here." But then the man who confronted him went on to say, "It's so funny. What kind of system do you use? How do you make it so funny?" It was then he realized that you could use computer animation to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea, to me, the idea of people assuming that the humor comes from the sophistication of the technology is in itself hilarious.
Sometimes you don't have to have all the bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
That's true.
Okay, I'm gonna post a couple C64 demos into the chat, Shirley.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you if you want to play them or not. You might have to hit the
Fair use button.
Yeah, but some of these are pretty good.
Okay. All right. Let's say higher.
All right, I've got it on.
Okay.
Run. Oh, this is one of.
Oh shoot, that
Early-
takes 20 minutes. No, that's too long.
The demos are going to be a little bit long, but the point isn't to play them all the way through. It's just to show some of what they are.
Weird is what they are.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. You got to remember, Jan, you're talking about these people who make these demos, do them to test their own computer skills and show off what tricks they can make the system do.
Yeah,
I
Jim, the
wonder if
thing to
Innersloth did any of that before they did Among Us.
I don't know. The point is, Jan, they're not supposed to be interpreted as anything other than weird. It's the
Yeah.
equivalent of a guy at the Olympics hoisting a 300-pound barbell over his head. It's not meant to be world shattering. It's just he's showing off his strength.
Yep. And these demos are showing off what this can do
Exactly.
in the right way.
I like the flowers.
Which again
Oh,
is
yeah,
why I
they're-
find the idea of which again is why I find the idea of what kind of system did you use to make that? How did you make it so funny to be as funny as it is?
And it is. But here's the thing. People don't realize just how complex you can make computers do things.
Oh yeah.
It really is impressive. And on a similar thread here, let's go to modern times. Okay, so we're going forward about 40 years now.
Hey,
roughly.
before you do that, can I give a quick pop quiz?
Yes.
Go.
Okay. 10 points to the house of whoever correctly guesses the answer to this question on the first try. As you recall, the demoed program for the Commodore 64 took up 256 bytes. What is the square root of 256?
16.
10 points to your house, Shirley.
Yep, that's correct.
10 points to
House
Well, whatever.
Burton, baby.
10 points to Burton House.
Yeah.
or Gryffindor if we were doing Harry Potter houses.
No, I do Hufflepuff. Gryffindor gets too much attention.
Okay, the four houses here are Burton, Shyamalan, Spielberg, and Bay.
Oh, jeez. Anyway.
No,
House
I want to be
Burton,
House
I'll take that.
Tracy. I want
House-
to be House Tracy
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
I'm House Burton. I'll overtake House Lannister any day. Kid. Frodo, you kind of garbled
All
up.
right. So we're skipping ahead several decades here. Son of a bitch. Hold on. My thing's doing its thing nightly.
Back
Garble
when I was
fest.
about 9
Yeah.
years,
Well-
8 and a half, 9 years old, I wrote a computer program. It
Nice.
was done on wall to wall, floor to ceiling, and instead of typing it out, blah blah blah, you used punch cards.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember those.
Hey Janet,
Yeah. What?
did you have the sense to put a central hole near the top and to set them on a peg on the platform that was that fastened them down with a nut before you took them anywhere?
No, but I don't know. I was only 9 years old. That is many moons ago.
No, you probably wouldn't have then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. One of the
Okay,
horror stories. Sorry, just give me a second. One of the horror stories I've heard about punch card computers is that these people who didn't understand that you basically need a mechanical means to keep the punch cards in order would try to transport a tray of punch cards without properly securing them and drop them.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, my dad at the time was with the Air Force, and I went with him, and he had some work to do.
Mhm.
That's when I wrote the computer program.
Nice.
All right, so let's fast
sorry.
forward to this time. Okay, we are now in modern times thinking.
Oh, you still get them now. The ones you grind for are about the not about
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Yeah, you surprised me. You're gonna sleep on the couch tonight, mister.
Uh-oh.
Never knew how.
Ooh. Ouch.
She's just being a little loud. That's all
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get the.
Yeah, before you go on, there's one thing, you had the Commodore 64. I remember the 5 1/4 inch floppy disk. Then it dropped to the 3 1/2 inch floppy disk. Then it
I had one
became
of those in
like,
high school.
yeah, I did too. Also had, what is it? They went to the zip drive. You know, the big old zip
The
disk and
thumb
such.
drive.
Yep. And then
You know,
and nowadays, of course, all thumb drives.
I
I can
used to
out
get the 3.5 inch floppy disks at Swap Meet, Tim, for $1.
Mhm.
I
Nice.
can outrank you, Shirley.
Oh yeah.
I've 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 tinkered around with 8-inch floppy disks before.
Damn, you don't have 'em that big.
Not that big. Not even joking. 8 inches square.
I've seen
I
pictures of them. I've seen
believe it.
pictures of them.
I believe it.
You've seen a movie with them, Janet.
Oh,
You've
look
Uh,
at this doggy. I like doggy. I
you've
like
seen a
doggy.
movie with 8-inch floppy disks. Everyone has. And if you tell me you haven't, you're lying.
War
Well,
games?
Yep.
I've never seen that one.
with Matthew Broderick, he almost
Yes.
started World War III playing
Well,
Yes.
Janet, what I remember Broadwick in from the 80s is a movie where he played a high schooler who used his computer to hack into the school's computer to reduce the number of days he was declared truant.
Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller's
Exactly.
Day Off. Yep.
But he also hacked into the school's computer on war games too.
That's true. He
Nice.
did.
This is the
Anyway,
part where Chaos God goes berserk.
Yeah, he thought he was playing a game when he was actually playing a computer simulation called Global Thermonuclear War. He thought it was a video game, and he was actually playing against a really, really powerful computer.
Kind of like an episode of American Dad where Steve mistook what Steve thought was a flight simulator in his dad's briefcase was actually radio controls for a military drone.
all right. Let's get back
Yeah.
on subject for a minute.
Come here.
All right.
Come here.
So, I want to get into another subject of modern times. Something that everyone and their mother and their wife and their siblings and everyone else has been told they have to have on their computers, otherwise they're going to melt down.
Antivirus.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm here today to tell you if you are running any version of Windows 10 up to and including the newest version, for the most part, you don't need a bespoke antivirus.
What is a bespoke antivirus?
Unique, separate antivirus. For the most part, you don't need it. Why? Because Windows has its own
Windows
antivirus
Defender,
in
right?
it.
Windows Defender, right?
Yep, Windows Defender. And back in Windows 7 days and Windows 8, I would highly suggest against running Windows Defender because it wasn't well built yet. That has changed drastically in this past 3 years.
I know
And now,
Windows Defender has saved my ass a few times.
Jan, can I speak?
Woof.
I'm going to say this in the past 3 years, since Windows 10 has been getting regular feature updates, Windows Defender has gotten a lot better. Its interface is easy to understand. Its accuracy is pretty damn good. and I've tested it. I've thrown purposeful viruses at it just to test, and it worked. Um, it has gotten a lot better. So to save system resources and save on your mind
as well as
from
your
having
wallet.
to. Well, there's plenty of good free antiviruses out there, but most of them are full of ads. But yes, wallet too.
Yeah.
You don't really need it anymore. Honestly, I'm run this computer I'm running right now, this laptop does not have anything but Defender on it. And
Shirley,
Oh, what?
don't fall
I
asleep.
think you about fell asleep.
Sorry. Mega tired.
It happens.
Carry on, Frodo.
And I took a shower too. You know what that does to me.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm in
Hey.
zonk mode.
Mike,
Yes.
I think Pikachu.
What do you
said
say?
you garbled up. You said, I think
Yeah.
Pikachu, and it froze.
Damn it. Okay, I
Damn it.
said I think Pikachu wants to say something to Shirley.
Pikachu!
I have yet to defeat the grunt at the Pokestop near my house.
Anyway,
I'll tell you this, you need some high points. Go ahead, Frodo.
getting back to what I was saying about antiviruses and all that, if you're doing more intensive stuff that could expose you to viruses or doing some programming that could potentially be seen as a virus, yeah, having a bespoke separate antivirus is not a bad idea in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
But for general computer use, streamers, gamers, for the most part, you don't need it anymore. Which is good because it means that Microsoft has done its damn job. Which,
I don't want to say, yo
what? Am
quiero
I
Taco
wrong?
Bell.
No, you're
I
not
am
wrong.
a little bit pissed off at VisionWorks right now.
What are they doing?
Huh?
I was supposed to pick
Go
up
ahead,
my glasses
go ahead, John.
tomorrow. The
No,
order's
I
pending.
Janet. Hold on. Go ahead, John.
I was asking. Janet said she was pissed off at somebody, and I was asking them what they did.
VisionWorks.
VisionWorks.
Well, I was supposed to pick up my new glasses tomorrow. Now the order is pending again.
I don't know.
They must be small.
I can understand getting something like Panda in tandem with Windows Defender just in case, but
Come on, you can do it.
Yeah,
guys,
Panda's
check it
all
out.
right. I like Bit
Hold on a second,
Defender.
guys. Guess who just
Oh,
jumped up
look.
right next to me? Turn around, Lulu.
Oh,
Lulu,
Hey,
we don't want to
Lulu.
see your rear end, Lulu.
What's wrong with her ass? Hey, sweetie.
Oh,
Lulu.
Hi, Lulu.
Pretty kitty. Oh, I didn't know Lulu had a raccoon tail.
There we go.
Yay.
Hey, Lulu.
Hi,
Hey,
baby.
sweetie.
Lulu.
Thank God, Lulu.
There we go.
I can see Lulu's. I had Princess sit on my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fast gas.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
nice.
Okay.
What do you feed Princess?
Well, they've been having kibble ever since we got them.
What kind?
What kind are we doing now? Pedigree.
You have my sympathy.
Well, the one we had before, which is a
Oh,
members mark
nice.
brand.
Oh, look at Lulu.
The members mark brand we fed
There you
them.
go.
She wants to
There
play on
you
your
go.
shoulders. Hey, Lulu. Hey,
Hi,
sweetie.
Debbie.
She have a smush. Does she have a smush nose?
Yeah, she does.
You got a Persian nose.
Persian nose, yep.
Looks
And she's
like
Yeah.
Tom
purring
is
like crazy
digressed
over
into
here.
saying hello to the
And
pets,
she's
right?
laying down. Beautiful.
Aw.
Lulu's the co-host. One second.
He's the
That's right.
co-mascot.
Meet our co-host Lulu. No, I'm kidding.
Say hello to mascot Lulu.
Yep. So
There you go.
actually,
Joker and Lulu. There you go.
we have four mascots. Frodo's got Maddie. Jana has Princess and Cosmo, and Mike has Lulu.
Lucinda Nicole.
And then
Okay, Frodo, was there anything
and
else
hold
you wanted
on,
to say about
we
Ted
got
Talks?
one more mascot.
What's that?
The mop on top of John's head.
Oh.
Just teasing
Well,
you.
that's
Are
that
you
much of a
kidding?
mop.
Actually, I had mop till I got my hair cut the other day.
Yeah.
Actually, our other mascots are behind Shirley.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, here.
nice.
All of the all of
Pops.
your Funkos.
Okay, now I have a little bit of an idea for people.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit of a tech idea. Let's say you have multiple devices connected to your network. So let's say I'm going to use Shirley's house, for example. Roku, Apple devices, iPhone, iPad, probably another iPhone and another iPad. I don't know what else you have in there and your computers. Your whatever else you have that connects to your network, your cameras or whatever. Here's an idea for everyone.
Yeah.
If you have an older computer that is non-used anymore, and you feel comfortable putting extra hard drives into it, do so. Because what you can do is take the original hard.
You're faded.
Yeah.
Sorry, take your original hard drive that you had, format it, completely wipe it, put a version of Linux on it, and there's a good reason for Linux. I'll explain it here in a minute. Then you have multiple extra hard drives slotted in.
Nope.
What you can do is connect that Linux box to your network through hardwire, activate what's called Windows networking in it, and your Windows computers and Macintosh and everything else can share files between each other using that computer as an intermediary file server.
Nice.
I didn't know
It's
that.
tempting, but the only other computer I've got is my old laptop. I may bring it over to your place, Frodo, and ask your help in formatting it. Well, not formatting it, just wiping it to a clean OS state.
Yeah.
Maybe see what I can get for reselling it.
I wouldn't worry about reselling it because even a laptop can work in this, especially if you use a USB splitter, split off a bunch of USBs and connect up to those USBs your extra hard drives. Go ahead, Jan.
No, finish talking to John. I can wait.
No, I was done there.
What is the purpose of the PowerShell? Because every time I boot up my computer, that dark window that says the Windows PowerShell on it pops up. And
PowerShell.
like why did it start popping up? Number one.
PowerShell is something that's been in Windows since about Windows 8. It's been there in the background. You don't use it all the time because most people don't know how to. But, John.
Yep.
You know about DOS, right?
Yep.
Okay. Sure. The regular CMD command that you can get into, which is command prompt,
Yeah.
uses essentially DOS-like commands.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're powerful. You can do stuff on the CMD that you can't do in actual Windows GUI and everything. True. But PowerShell is insanely powerful. Like, as in, if you're in PowerShell admin mode, you can actually tinker with the kernel in some ways.
Ooh.
Which is not a good idea if you do not know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Well, hey.
To all our viewers, listen up. Unless you are at least Frodo's level of professionality, don't mess with your registry. Don't mess with your kernels. Don't mess with the programming of your OS. Because if you mess something up, you are going to mess something up at a fundamental level, and you can render your computer completely inoperable. And that's at best.
Mhm.
So
You
how do I
you
get
can how can you get rid of the PowerShell?
PowerShell window? It pops up every
No.
time. Every time.
Does it? How long does it stay up for?
Well, it comes on when it boots in a minute or two, and then it'll go
I'd leave
away.
it be.
A minute? That's strange.
It's probably doing something in the background that you don't realize. One of your programs may have asked for it to be created,
Yeah.
and it's if it's doing something in the background, you don't really want to interrupt what it's doing.
No.
Um,
But
So
go
I'll
ahead.
just leave it alone.
Janet, how long ago did it start doing this?
I can't remember. I really can't remember.
Excuse me. Sorry.
But yeah, like John was saying, tinkering with the kernel and the registry, it's dangerous at best when
Yeah.
you know what you're doing. It's disastrous at worst
If you don't know what you're doing.
if you don't know.
Right.
Mhm.
That's why I asked you. So I'll just let it go until it closes it
Yep.
up on its
Um,
own.
I'm using
Hmm.
sign. Yep. Anyway, God damn it. Hold on.
Holding.
All right. Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
All right. I remember a situation where a friend's computer, and John, you know exactly what I mean when I say friend. Okay?
I think so.
You know who I'm talking about.
Name might slip my mind, but yeah.
Okay. His computer decided to blue screen and on boot up and say something registry error. Okay? Yeah. You already know how bad that is, don't you, John?
I haven't had blue screen that early, but yeah,
What
I've
is
seen
the
blue screen.
definition of what does a registry do? I know it
Okay.
sounds like a dumb question, but
Okay, Janet,
what?
the registry holds the directions to where data is stored on the hard drive. What happens is the processor goes to the registry, looks to where the information it's looking for is on the hard drive, tells the hard drive to go to that spot and reads the data. If you
Okay,
mess with the information in that registry, then the processor will read data from the wrong spot on the hard drive.
gotcha. Okay, carry on.
And yes, you can access the registry through a program called the registry editor. In fact,
Stay the hell away from that.
if you don't know what the hell you're doing,
No,
stay
I
out.
will.
Mhm.
Be right back.
Okay.
Well, I'll just handle the
Oh,
simple
wait.
things on my computer
Now,
thing.
I will tell you the truth. I think I have used the registry editor in making. You know how when you do the Alt tab, you see the big tabs. I don't like that. I like it as the classic small ones. I know
That's
how to
not
do it, but that's probably something. That's not the registry editor.
that's not registry error. That's your
Okay.
settings. The
Oh,
Well,
registry editor.
actually,
actually, if
it
she
is.
if she Windows R'd and hit red and typed in regedit, she did go into the registry. There
Mhm.
are there are tweaks you can do in the registry that are all right,
Mhm.
but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the keys that I would stay out of, and I'm literally in the registry right now. I have my Zoom window on the left side of my screen. I know it shows on right, but
That's
I'm
fine.
pointing it on my side, and I have the registry on the right. So you have H key classes root, which is like it explains what every single extension does. So, like, if you have a .bas file, for example, it'll say persistent handler, and they'll have a GUID, which is a 8 byte, 4 byte, 4 byte, 4 byte,
Mhm.
12 byte, uh, yeah, 12 byte set of characters that represents a distinct, unique thing on your computer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I highly recommend you don't tinker at all in HKey classes root because you can make files unopenable.
Mhm. Which is
Okay?
why I'll never touch that one. That's for sure.
HKey current user defines aspects of you, of your user profile. So you can change some things up like different environment variables, for example, can be changed occasionally. Uh, Control panel settings, console settings, you can do that in there. But the one you're more likely, the one you're more likely to use when you're doing changes is H key local machine. And usually you go into either software or system in this. You don't want to tinker around with salmon security because salmon security are your essentially your user profile information.
Oh,
And if
hmm.
that gets fucked up, you will lose all access to your files.
Both of you.
Mhm.
Now, when that situation with my friend happened, that's what happened was salmon security got goofed up.
Mm.
Okay, but like some software stuff you can modify in there, some system stuff that exists can be modified. Follow the directions of whatever you're reading very carefully when you do stuff like this.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Oh.
HKey users is more just a repository of all the users that are on the system. So it'll contain yourself, any users that are created by other apps to run applications in the background, the built-in administrator account, which exists in all Windows versions and is inaccessible because you don't really want to have that kind of power all the time.
Mhm.
Unless you're someone stupid like me. No, I'm being facetious about the stupid part,
That's fine.
but my point being, unless you're someone that's considered a power user, like myself, you don't want admin access all the time.
Uh.
Exactly.
No.
And then this is the one that you're really gonna see a lot of use. Actually, not really. HKey current config is how your system is set up right now. It basically distinguishes what your system is doing right this second. Like I said, local machine current user you might use occasionally, mostly local machine and software or local machine and system. Okay,
Okay.
those are your primary ones you use. One resource I use,
I'm listening.
oh god, tree edits that can be used. is is How to Geek. If you've never looked up howtogeek.com, they've got a lot of good information there. The people who make it, very intelligent. Like, super intelligent. And
Excuse
I'm
me, I
actually...
don't want burping a lot tonight.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm just going into How to Geek on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, you can do a lot of cool stuff. You can look up a lot of cool stuff in here.
The hell was I looking up? I forgot.
Uh,
You're garbling, man.
Yeah, Frodo.
Yeah,
Up in the
it's
search...
really bad.
Frodo, you're garbling, man. It's saying your signal strength is kind of bad.
Go figure. This sounded a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay. But one tip I do have for you, and Shirley, Mike, John, I'm not going to have you do it, Janet, because I don't want you to take the risk. Hit the Windows key and tap R.
Okay, I know this one.
And go into Regedit.
Registry editor?
Yep.
That's 1G or 2?
1.
Now, in your registry editor.
Okay, let it make changes.
Yeah.
I got it as well.
Yep.
All right.
Now,
keep talking, Frodo.
When you get in there, click computer. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And then click file, export.
Okay,
You mean right click?
No. File menu on the top and export. If you're selecting your computer, what you're doing is you're going to take a copy of your entire registry as it is right this second and make a backup of it.
All right.
You already did it for me.
Is it going to let us choose the file destination?
Yeah, it will. I already did it for Mike just because it's a safety measure. But yeah,
Yep.
I always recommend when you can make a backup of the registry. It's no nonsense. It's simple. And I mean, it protects you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll do this later.
Yeah.
Frodo. I'll do it with an external hard drive, I think.
Yeah.
Good call on that.
Thanks.
But yeah, the registry, once it's backed up, get to an external storage, and then that way you have it in case your computer decides, hi, I'm going to self-destruct.
This computer will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
But yeah, I'm going to lower my brightness on my screen.
Have a nice day.
And I got to show you. The first thing How to Geek tells you on what to do for in your registry.
Oh.
Cool.
I literally didn't read that. I just know how to do it.
Nice.
Okay. And let's see. Registry hacks is what I want here. So I'm gonna type in.
What's the name of the website? Geek some what?
How to Geek.
Howtogeek.com. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So, for example, I'm going to give you a couple hacks that you can do in Windows 10. Here we go. In your taskbar, your clock on the taskbar. Do you like the fact that it only shows you minutes and hours and minutes?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, but
Did you know you can add seconds to it?
How?
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do this one?
You,
Can I
in
do
theory,
this one?
yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually pull up the. In theory, yes. Give me one moment. I'm gonna
Okay.
actually copy the link that I'm at, put into the what do you call
Zoom
it?
chat?
Into the Facebook chat.
okay.
No, Facebook, because I'm not on. I'm doing this on my phone. And then, if you follow down a little bit, boom, right there. You can find it. It says show seconds in the taskbar clock. It'll have you download a small program that will install the registry hack into your system.
How to get, and what's the name again? How to Geek?
Yeah, yeah. I just put it in the Facebook chat, Jan.
Okay.
And if you want to do it yourself, you do H key current user, software, Microsoft, Windows, current version, Explorer, Advanced. And inside the
Okay, I'm
advanced
not
key.
gonna do it by myself. I'm not gonna
No,
do it
no,
by
no.
myself.
I'm just going through this by my for reference, okay?
All right.
When you get to advanced, you click new, you right click the advanced, you click new, D word 32-bit value. And then you type in the value name as capital, and you
Okay.
do have to
Now
camel
where do I
case
go down?
this.
Okay, hold on, Frodo, as I do want to add seconds to mine. Now, I just opened back up. Where should I need to go?
Okay,
Go seconds to the taskbar clock.
hold on. H key current user.
Okay, I'm there. Got it.
Software.
Got it.
Microsoft.
Do I
Microsoft.
click on the
Got it.
link?
Windows.
Windows. Hang on, I gotta go down there. Just plain Windows, right? Nothing else behind it. Got it.
Right, just regular Windows. Current version.
Got it.
Explorer.
Explorer. Check.
And then on advanced, on the advanced one on the side,
Uh-huh.
right click, click new, and click D word value.
D word value.
D as in dog.
Got it.
And then
Okay.
in this, camel casing. You know what I mean by camel casing, right?
Yep.
All right. Show
I don't.
seconds.
I
Every
don't.
word is capitalized.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
seconds.
every in system clock. All one word.
So show seconds in system clock. In is capitalized, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And press enter.
Done.
Double click the value you just created and
Okay.
enter the data value of 1.
Okay. And the hit base would be hexadecimal, correct?
Yep. Hexadecimal 1.
Okay. Got it.
And then hit OK. Now, when you close it, it won't happen right away because you have to relog.
Yeah.
But once you relog the next time, you'll see seconds on your time.
Cool. Then that means next time I have to do the show tomorrow, I'll have the clock ready.
Okay, Frodo, would you mind going through that a second time for me?
Jan, for you, there's actually there's actually a way to use a directly added key. If you go into the article about make Windows 10 taskbar show seconds.
Show seconds in the taskbar clock, right?
Yeah. In there,
Okay.
there's actually, if you click it, it says you can finally get seconds on your taskbar
Right.
and it says related, how to make Windows 10's taskbar display seconds, right?
Seconds. Is that you're right?
Click on
Right.
that, and about 3/4 of the way down the page, there's going to be a thing that says download our one-click registry hack. And then from there will be a blue link that says show seconds in system clock hacks. Click that and download it, and then you
download our one. Is that one? Download our one-click registry hack.
Yep. And it'll have a
Is that
blue
what
link.
You wanted?
Yeah, click the show seconds. Yep.
Show seconds in system clock hacks. Okay.
Click it. It'll download a small zip file that will contain both the show seconds in system clock and remove seconds from system clock registry files. You can click either one. If you do the remove, they won't appear. If you do show, they will appear.
Okay. It's inside a zip file.
That's fine.
Hey, Lulu.
That's
Lulu,
fine.
Lulu
bat.
was on. Yeah, Lulu was kind of climbing on my back a minute.
Okay, it says, okay, the publisher could not be verified, but
that's fine.
Run.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, come on.
Kind of, yes.
Oh.
Okay, yes. The keys and values can say.
It's done. That's it.
Okay. So when I reboot my computer, it'll show the seconds tomorrow?
You don't even have to reboot, Janet. All you have to do is sign out of Windows.
Log out and log back in.
And guess what? Boom.
Cool.
I'll do that after the show's done.
I'll do it later.
The crazy thing is, people don't realize that there's little tricks you can do with it. Ditch the lock screen. You can,
guess what? I just brought up the calendar. And it's showing the seconds on the calendar.
It's always done that, Jan.
It always does
done
that. But
that's for people who don't want to mess with their registry.
Right.
Yeah, the files are for people that don't want to tinker inside the registry. Me? Give you 3 guesses what I'd do.
You tinker all the time.
You'd probably make the registry say,
kiss off, bitch.
Frodo is God. Get used to it.
Well, actually, there is a way, and this is the funny one. There is a way to set a copyright notice before you ever log into Windows, and it'll appear every single time. And you can have it say anything you want.
You can have it say, hello, Smithers. You are good at turning me on.
Yes, you can. Although, I don't know why you do that because you're not Smithers.
That was an old joke on The Simpsons.
I know it was. I know. I've seen that joke 1,000 times.
So you remember Mr. Burns naked with his arms across his chest. Smithers boots up his computer and he says, hello, Smithers. You are good at turning me on.
Yeah, and
you could probably just ignore that.
And the funny thing is, he was actually showing Lisa his Malibu Stacy collection when that happened.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can remove Bing search from the start menu using some of these. The one I love is 4 simple words. You want to know what the 4 simple words?
Get on the bus. Oh, nice.
Oh, get rid of Cortana. I saw that. I was looking for that.
Yeah, these are some of the hacks you can do. It's just, honestly, people don't realize how useful the registry can be
If you're doing it right.
if you're doing it right. But if you don't know what the fuck you're doing,
Stay the fuck away from it.
Leave well enough alone.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the fuck you're doing and you haven't made a backup, always, 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 for the love of everything that is holy, make a fucking backup of your registry. And honestly, I could take that another step further. As a computer technician, I've seen many times where a simple system backup would solve a lot of problems. If you can and you have an external drive that can support your entire hard drive, make a fucking full system backup or a full system image. You do not know how many times I've wanted to wring people's necks because they're like, oh, I can't get rid of these files because it's the only thing I have. Make a fucking backup then.
That's what I've had to. That's what I've done when I would get.
Calm down.
Oh, anyway, sometimes I would get like major updates. Now there were a couple times where it's like I can't see my name, I can't see all the stuff I've had. I'm thinking I lost it. So what I did was I went ahead and backed everything up into my portable hard drives. Now the good news is a simple restart got everything back where it should be. So
Yeah. And that's always going to be the first suggestion for any computer technician. If you're having fucking problems,
That's actually pretty close.
power the system off, disconnect it from power so that there is no RAM activity, especially if you're on a laptop, and power it back on. Because the thing is, when you clear the RAM and then reassemble the RAM from fresh, guess what? 99% of the issues you may have on your computer fix instantly.
Oh yeah.
And that's not a joke. That is not a joke at all. It is such a real thing.
yeah.
People think that technicians are bullshitting them when they say, "Did you turn it off and back on again?" There's a reason we say that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right.
But,
Well.
okay, hold on. Before we finish, Shirley,
Okay.
I'm going to explain the reason.
Okay.
When you have a computer, you have well, technically three types of RAM, of memory. You've got permanent storage, which is your SSDs or your flash drives or your hard drives or whatever. Permanent storage doesn't go away. You've got read-only memory. This doesn't go away either, but this is a small chip on the board somewhere that stores the initial boot code and everything necessary to bring your computer up and running. The third one that's important here is volatile memory. You have a third type of RAM on your memory on your system called RAM, random access memory. Random access memory is a bunch of chips on usually a DIMM or an SODIMM that has a bunch of capacitors in the chips. The capacitors themselves are what store the ones and zeros that are endemic of what your system is.
The binary code.
Yep. Full capacitor is a 1, an empty capacitor is a 0. Makes sense. Yeah. When you turn off your computer after, say, 30 to 40 seconds, those capacitors discharge. And they're microscopic little capacitors. They're tiny, tiny little things. But it takes about 30 to 40 seconds for them to discharge. The reason for wanting to discharge them is a reboot. When you initiate a restart on your computer, leaves about 128 bytes still used because it's a code to the computer to say this is not a cold boot, this is a warm boot. But if you really want to get rid of all the RAM and flush it all, you have to completely power down. And like I said, give it 40 seconds to a minute to let the capacitors completely leak. Okay. And once those and I'm not talking leak their electrolytic fluid.
Mm-hmm.
There's no electrolytic fluid. You're just leaking the charge out of them. Once that 40 seconds to a minute has passed, give or take, restart it and let the computer reassemble the RAM on its own in a fresh state. That's the key thing people don't realize. Is that's why we say it. When you have stuff fucking up, it leaves traces in the RAM. If you completely let the RAM leak and let it completely bleed out, good chunk of the time that's going to take care of your problem. It's just a fact, people.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's fine. I think it's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So anyway, here's the schedule. Our tomorrow, of course, is our Friday Fun Day Game du jour, which will be Among Us. So we'll find out
Oh,
who's
excuse
sussing
me.
who tomorrow night, and just enjoy the ride. And
Janet,
I do get to be assessed a couple times.
yeah.
Janet, I just got one thing to say to you.
Well, I've got one thing to say to you. Thank you.
Thank me for what?
For your
Giving me
information.
that advice.
But that's one of the reasons I do these tech talks. That I've decided to do them is because you can gain a lot of cool information that you didn't know.
Right. I just hope that my seconds will show up in the taskbar clock.
I'm not worried about that. All right.
It'll happen instantly once you restart.
All right. So anyway, let's play the quick 10-second ending.
Anyway.
All right. So that mine, I'm gonna say love, peace, and chicken grease. Everybody have a great night. Sleep well. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow for Among Us. Good night, everybody.
Have a good
night,
one.
world.
Bye, everyone. See you
Take care,
tomorrow.
everybody.